Look who decided to show up. Sorry, I just had to do that. But really, wasn't sure that you would actually come here tonight. Well, yes, I know we set the date, but I would understand if you didn't trust me to keep my end of the bargain. You look well. Are you doing something different with your hair, actually? Anyway, how have you been? Oh. You had to pull an extra shift at the docks in order to get new oars. Uh, well, that's actually a pretty big shame, because what am I supposed to do with these things now? Well, yes, of course I would go get them. I mean, if they're so important that you're literally defenseless in the ocean without them, then surely there's something that must be very valuable to you. I guess they were, since you had to work harder to get some more. But anyway, that was... well, at least it wasn't too much effort wasted. Oh, well, okay, if you need spares, then sure, you're welcome to them. I was going to give them back to you regardless, anyway. So, besides that, how have you been? Oh. You thought it was a dream, huh? At least for a bit? Well, I hope you weren't disappointed to know it wasn't. Oh, is that why you came here? Just to confirm your suspicions? Well, here I am. I guess it ain't that much of a shock, is it? How have I been? Well, aside from meeting you, it was business as usual. I usually frequent those shows in order to hunt, usually for abalones, and well, we got a good harvest. We actually had enough that we were able to dry them out and stock up our stores. Yeah, we keep stores of meat. Abalones are one of the best for curing. You just set them out to dry and then you store them in a cave somewhere, such as here. But it has to be dry, and that's easier said than done for my kind. I bet your lot have an easier time with it, actually. Is that right? Salt pork. I don't really know what a pork is. Does it come from the ocean? Land. Oh, well, that explains it. So what kind of animal is a pork? It's a pig. What's a pig, then? Well, I gotta say, I don't really know how your kind can find that appetizing. Does it really just live by rolling around in the mud? That can't be clean. Oh, please. Whatever bacon is, I'm sure it's not good enough to actually justify that. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, that does bring me to a point that I wanted to show you. Since it was such a good hunt, I was wondering if maybe I could convince you that there's more to life in the ocean than pearls and such. No, really. For instance, come take a look at these. It doesn't look that special, does it? Didn't figure it would. How about now? That's more like it. I bet you didn't think that the abalones would have such a colorful inside, did you? These are one of my favorites for a reason. You can fashion all sorts of things from shells this large. They even make good jewelry. Much better than those piddly-wink little scabs your kind calls pearls. Yes, I said scabs. Why do you think they grow in the clams? They're not exactly eggs. Oh, you actually don't know what they are, do you? Well, that's a bit interesting. So basically, when a clam or some other species of mollusk gets a bit of sand or grit into their shells where it's not supposed to be, it'll irritate it and cut it open, since their flesh isn't really that strong. In order to keep it from damaging the insides, they will form a pearl around that bit of grit in order to make it smooth so it won't damage anything. That is, by definition, a scab, as I hear your kind call it. A protective layer to facilitate healing? I don't know, I guess it doesn't sound as good for your kind, does it? Regardless, this, my dear human, is not anything like a scab. It's a living work of art. And I thought that maybe you should have one. This is one of the better ones from our hall, and, well, I guess it would help make up for what you lost in time, yes, last time we met. No, it's not that valuable to me. I've got plenty of them back in my cave. But, yeah, sure, just here. Besides, I got plenty more things than that. Oh yes, of course I do. I even got a little collection that I keep off to the side. I actually have a couple that I keep on me, if you'd be interested in seeing them. Well, in that case, take a look at these. Here's one. That is... Oh, you call it a sand dollar. Oh, I see why. Is it because it's shaped like a shilling? I did remember that word. I figured as much. Our kind calls them moon stars. I guess you could probably see why as well. They got a little starfish-looking emblem in the center, and they're the color and shape of the moon. And to top it off, you can even fashion them to be a navigation device. Well, we can at least. I don't know if your kind does the same thing. Do you? Yeah, well, wishful thinking, I guess. The sand dollars, even though they're hard to get intact, they do come often. But this right here, this is the crown jewel of my collection. Have you ever seen such a large tooth? Are there anything bigger on land, God forbid? I didn't think so. Try and guess what creature this is from. Yes, it's from a shark, but what type of shark? A great white. Well, that's not a bad guess. But no, this comes from... Okay, well, you're going to have to wrap your mind around this, but what if I told you there were creatures that lived far before either of our species came about? No, I'm not joking. It's actually something that we've been understanding more and more as time goes on. The sand, whenever it wafts, there's always these parts that we can find from creatures that just don't seem to be fresh. They're just, well, feel it for yourself. Yeah, it doesn't feel like a tooth, does it? I know you know what a shark tooth feels like, at least. There's too many of them for humans to not feel them. But anyway, That's not a normal tooth. It's been turned to stone almost. Even the upper part of it. We think that long before merfolk existed, there were species of shark much bigger than what we have now. In fact, the elders even have stories and have carved carvings out in the rocks of the cliffs that actually showed the likeness of sharks much bigger than those that we know today. We always thought that they were bedtime stories designed to scare squirts into not leaving the coral of our nurseries. But the teeth have to come from somewhere, don't they? And there's no way someone is a good enough artisan to craft all of these. Especially since I just found this one in the shoals. Oh, it's actually not that far from here where I found this one. Don't worry, if one of these creatures is something you're worried about, then even us merfolk haven't found one alive. And we live here. You shouldn't have much to worry about. Then again, we can't really speak for the open ocean. The merfolk of the deep sea and our kind don't really mix that well. We have our own conflicts, you see. So any secrets that they might hold, we don't really have at our disposal. They're not a friendly sort. Honestly, I wouldn't be that surprised if they did have to deal with something that large. Well, what do you have to worry about? It's not like you're going that far out, are you? Right? You're not going on the open sea, are you? Even we don't go out that far. Well, yeah, I know other humans do, but I just wouldn't feel comfortable with one of them I know and care about going out on the open sea. It's not even a place for us. Why would it be a place for you? It's not safe out there. If the boat sinks, then you're all just dead. Well, that's good to hear at least. I'm glad at least you have the sense to keep to the shallows. I mean, it's not for you, but at least you'll survive. At least I can maybe be there to actually help you if you mess up again. Oh, come now, I don't care about you that much. I just find you interesting is all. You're my lifeline into how humans work as a people. Nothing more. Well, I have to care about your well-being. I can't just let my sources of information go dying off in the kelp, can I? Anyway, these are the best of my collection that I have on me. Who knows, maybe someday I'll let you see the rest of it. Of course, that would be a bit awkward. Well, the cave that I live in is a bit harder to access, a bit deeper. So deep that I'm pretty sure a human couldn't actually get into it without my assistance. And that assistance is interesting, to say the least. Well, I have to breathe for you. Like, I'd have to put breath into your mouth, basically. So it would basically be like kissing you. But for an extended period of time and for a purely platonic reason, so don't worry too much about that. It'd just be for survival is all. What? I'm not blushing. I'm not even warm-blooded. I can't blush. It's not possible. I don't care what you see. It's not true. Okay. Okay, you're getting a little bit cocky here, and I'm not sure I appreciate it. Oh, payback for the last time we met my tail. I hardly even teased you. Oh, I couldn't even get away because I didn't have voice. Yeah, sure. Like you actually would have left if you had the opportunity. I know enough to at least know that you enjoy my company. Like I do yours. Otherwise, why would you be here? Oh, you think I'm a source of information too, huh? That's rich. I wonder where you got that idea from. Well, yes, we do have a bit of history to us. And I might be persuaded to part with some of it to you. If you can meet my price. Yes, prices again. What can I say? I'm business-minded after all. So what I can see it is this. I've shown you a few things from my display. My home. I even showed you one of the rarest I own. Maybe I could be persuaded to give a few of these to you, and maybe impart some of my deep, rich lore on my species. If you can do the same for me with yours. Isn't that a good accord? I thought it'd be. You better not bring me trash, though. I'll be looking at your face to make sure you're not just giving me some random scraps from your... Well, what would you call your show? A wide open area outside of your house. Okay, a yard. I'll make sure you don't give me any trash out of your yard. And if I think you have, I'll just splash you, swim away, and never meet you again. Don't tempt me. You're already doing it right now. Besides, there's worse things. I could wind up dragging you in. Siren? What's that? Actually, I'd love to know, but isn't it getting a bit late for your kind? It is getting late for mine. I've looked up here and yes, it does look like it wouldn't be safe to actually be wandering about out here when it gets dark, but underwater we don't even have those orange sticks that your kind carries around for light. Torches, yeah, well, those don't exactly work down here. Believe us, we've tried. Maybe you can tell me what a siren is next time we meet. Meeting again? Well, of course I'd want to. You're interesting. A bit peculiar, but intriguing. Besides, we have an accord, don't we? I'm still going to need a few things from land. It's a deal then. So, when do you want to meet again? Oh, same time next week, huh? Well, that's good to hear. Before you go, did you actually mean what you said earlier? About you caring about me? Huh. Well then, thank you. I'll make sure I get home safe, but only if you do the same. If you wind up dead, then I don't know what I'm going to do. Or injured. Okay, I know it ain't that dangerous, but still. The land is a scary place. I don't know how your kind just goes about living their lives up there. Well, I'll be seeing you then. Bye, and be sure to take care of yourself. I'll be seeing you soon enough, human.